Hello Facebook Live, I'm Carla. 60-minute yoga flow this morning. Friday, beautiful day. A little cooler, I think, than the last couple weeks, so we've got that going for us. So you'll just need a mat. If you brought props, totally cool. If you have a towel, awesome, no worries. If not, we're gonna start on our mat, not doing push-ups unless you're feeling extra feisty this morning. I feel the support. And hold on. I can do no mic too. I don't mind. All right, so we're going to start on in child pose. Sorry, pose. Test, test, test.
You just keep going. I'll fix it. Don't worry about it.
Just coming down onto your mat. Sit bones close to heels. Arms are going to lengthen out in front of you. Forehead's going to rest down. Move your legs wide enough apart that you can make space for your body. Let your forearms rest down. Let your shoulders be heavy away from your ears. Maybe rock hips from side to side, just finding an opening through your hip bones and softening the ribs. Just allowing the body to be heavy here for a moment. And just taking this minute here to focus on why you came to your mat today. Maybe it was just to get out of the house. Maybe it was to especially come to HealthQuest because that's the most exciting thing. To stretch your body, to find clarity, and just taking the next 60 minutes to allow your body, your breath, your flow to be completely welcomed on your mat. Take one more breath in through the nose. Fill the belly, and then breathe that breath away. Tent your fingertips, lifting the chest away from the mat, and walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, almost off the mat onto the turf. Rest the forehead back down and lengthen out through the right arm even more. Feel that entire stretch up the right side body. Keep pressing the hips back down towards the heels. And then see if you can soften your eyes close again. Think about breathing space into the ribs. Fingertips. Carefully walk yourself back through center, coming to the other side. So walk your fingertips off your mat, onto the turf. Relax your hands down, relax your head, and then reach a little bit farther through that left hand, finding that added stretch up the left side body. Seeing if you keep your hips soft back down towards your heels. Take a breath in. Tent the fingers, come back through center. Coming to thread the needle. So sit the hips back, take your right arm, thread it underneath the left. Let the right ear and right shoulder rest down onto the mat. Take a breath in. See if you can soften your hips down a little closer to the heels again. Let the entire back body open. Just taking these first few poses a little bit more restorative, making space in our body. See if you can push your ribs a little closer between your thighs. Inhale, lengthen that right arm up towards the front of the mat and thread the left arm underneath the right. Rest the left ear and left shoulder down. Again, take this as a restorative pose, not super active. So think about softening the hips, softening the ribs, soften the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale, lengthen the arm out in front of you. Bringing your hands under the shoulders, knees under hips, coming to cat-cow. So release the legs in towards each other. So you've been in child's pose, maybe you need to sway the hips side to side. That feels good. All right, so hands under shoulders, press the floor away, opening up the shoulder girdles. We're going to take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So find your neutral spine, take a breath in, let the belly fall, arch the spine as you lift the chest, pull the collarbones through, let the gaze come up. Full breath out as you curl the tailbone, arch the spine, round the spine, let the neck fall. So working through your time here, inhale as you lower the belly, let the tailbone curl up, gaze comes forward, pull the collarbones through, exhale, belly pulls up, arch the spine. So this is your cat-cow. You breathe, you flow, whatever feels right for your body. You might even be swaying your hips side to side. Just think about pulling the shoulder blades down the back, and then curl the spine, lift the belly even higher. One more here, breathe in. And then breathe out. Back to your neutral spine. From here, we're just going to stretch our wrists only if you have no wrist issues, if it feels good. Take the weight back more into your knees. If it feels okay, turn your palms so that they face fingers facing out. Take it slow with your hands. Again, if you have wrist issues, I do not welcome you to do this. You stick with cat-cow. If this feels okay, you might start to turn your hands just a little more, making our goal to have our fingertips facing our knees. Just leaning back and forth, very small amount, to feel that stretch up the front of the forearm. Take a breath into that space. If there's any pinging feeling, you've gone too far. Let the breath go. Carefully windmill the hands back around, walking them till they meet the front. And then coming down now, turning palms under, bringing fingertips back towards knees again. Remembering not to put all your weight into your hands. Just a little stretch up the wrists here. Hips. We're putting our weight back down towards our hips. Take a breath. Exhale, uncurl the hands. Walk the hands forward slightly, coming to downward facing dogs. So tuck the toes under, keep the knees super bent, pike the hips up, keep the knees bent, push into the hands so you establish that widening through your shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, you start to pedal out your dog. Pressing the hips up and back, and just breathing space into the calves here. So you're pedaling each foot one at a time. Nice. Take an inhale, lift both heels up high, push back into your shoulders even more. Rotate the hips towards the right side, your heels towards the right side of the mat, and then bend the right knee, rooted down through that left heel. So pressing evenly through both hands, you're just gonna start to feel a little side stretch here up the left side body. Take a breath in. Can you push that left hip up even higher towards the sky? Inhale, pike the hips, lift the heels back up high. Turn the hips over to the left side of your mat. I can't talk today. Turn the heels. Bend the left knee, and then lengthen out through that right arm even more. Feel the stretch up the right side body. I'll get my words right here. Inhale, lift the heels, and then exhale, lower the heels any amount down to your mat for downward facing dog. Press back into the hips. See if you can lift the hips 1 inch higher towards the sky. Inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to walk our hands towards our feet, towards the back of our mat, coming to forward fold. So release the head forward, feet are hips distance. Bend through the knees so that you can rest your belly on your thighs, and then let your head and neck be super heavy here. Let the shoulders fall from the ears. And coming to ragdoll. So if it feels okay, you might stay here, grabbing opposite elbow with your hands, and letting the weight of your elbows carry you a little closer to your mat. Feels okay, you can rock a little side to side. You can rock your head yes and no. Just opening up the neck muscles. And knowing that for our sequence of sun salutation, we are going to be practicing starting at the back of our mat. So something to think about. Bring your hands back down to the mat, forward fold, and then we're slowly going to articulate our spine, rolling all the way up to mountain pose. Good morning. All right, so starting sun salutation A. The option here is going to be walking out to our plank pose. I think we're going to be okay. If not, I'll give you an alternative option. So feet hip distance for more support. We're bringing soles of feet together. Under hips. Tailbones tucked slightly. Palms face open towards me, shoulders roll back. Feel that slight pinch between your shoulder blades, chest nice and open. Now lengthen through the crown of the head, find lots of space through the front of your body. Take a breath in, and take a breath out. Soften the shoulders from the ears. Inhale, windmill the arms up overhead, palms meet at the top. Gaze can come up towards fingertips. Exhale, dive the heart over the thighs, bend the knees. Let the belly rest on thighs, fingertips to floor. Inhale, flat back extension. So press into the shins, lengthen the legs, reaching from crown of head all the way to tailbone. Pull the belly button up. Full breath in. Now exhale, fold again over your thighs. This is where we walk to our plank. So root down through your hands, and in your time, we're going to walk our hands forward to the front of our mat, coming to high plank pose. Shoulders over wrist, and then lower down to your knees. Untuck your toes, lower all the way to your mat. Good. Roll the head of the shoulder back. Shoulder blades pinch, elbows lock in. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the heart up off the mat till your belly button comes to the mat. Your belly button is still grounded, so low cobra. Take a breath in, gaze forward. Inhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Exhale. Hips high and wide. Good, so you know the sequence. From your downward facing dog, take a breath in. Stay here. On your exhale, see if you can lower your heels, lifting your hips up a little higher. Now you know the deal. We're walking our hands back towards our feet, to our forward fold. Now if your feet are separated and you prefer them together, walk your feet in till they meet. Surrender over your thighs. And now we inhale to stack our spine. Reaching up overhead, palms meet. Exhale, dive the heart forward over the thighs, bending the knees any amount. Inhale, press the shins away, flat back, lengthen. So reach through the crown of the head, tuck the chin so you get a double chin. Exhale, fold. Coming forward to plank again. So walking our hands out as slowly as you need to till your shoulders are over your wrists. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, elbows draw into the ribs as we lower to the mat. Again, squeeze the elbows in, gaze forward. Take a breath in, lift the heart, peel it up until your belly button still stays on the mat. Good. Squeeze the glutes. Now tuck the toes, release the glutes, press yourself back, downward facing dog. That's Sun Salutation A. We're gonna flow into Sun Salutation B a little quicker, adding a few moves on. So take a breath here. And as in your own time, on your next breath out, walk yourself back to the back of the mat, forward fold. If it feels okay, you can leave your feet hip distance or pivot your feet till they meet. All right. So same type of flow, but this time we add on. Inhale, stack the spine, coming to extended mountain, arms float up overhead, palms meet, gaze comes up. Reach through the crown of the head, exhale, dive the heart forward over thighs. Flat back lengthen option, hands to shins or fingertips to mat as we reach the spine nice and long, crown of head to tailbone. Inhale, exhale, fold over your thighs. Inhale to walk yourself forward to plank pose, shoulders over wrists. Hold here for a moment, pull the core up. Now press yourself back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts high and wide, high up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Now draw that knee in towards your nose, left knee to nose, and then sweep the left leg underneath your right arm. So look forward if you need to. See? Yes, perfect. Flex the foot, and then if it feels okay, we're coming to falling star. So right arm lifts up, we pivot onto the right heel, reach up towards the sky, and then carefully lower your seat down to the mat. You with me? Yeah, you got it. Just lower down, carefully, with control. Right arm's up, we reach over the right leg for a side bend. Take a breath. Anywhere you can find. So maybe you're reaching for your calf, maybe your leg is softened so you can find that. Side bend here, take a breath in. Good. Now windmill both arms up towards the sky. Left hand comes behind the hips. With control, we find the outside edge of our left foot and pike our hips back up to our falling star. You with me? Right hand comes to mat. Now we come back to plank pose. Yes? And from here, lower down to the knees or stay up in your high plank as we lower halfway through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Widen the collarbones, squeeze the glutes. Now release the glutes as you tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Ah, a little trickier, huh? Stay here for a breath. We're gonna get it next time. You guys did it though, I was impressed. Root back down through the heels, keep piking the hips up even higher. Take a breath in. Exhale. Now walk yourself back in towards your feet, forward fold. Remembering your option to keep your feet separated or walk them together. See, each time when we come to our fold, if you can lengthen the back of your legs even more. Inhale, stack the spine, extended mountain, reach towards the sky. Palms meet, gaze up. Exhale, dive the heart forward, forward fold. Flat back, hands to shins, or keep your fingertips to your mat as you reach through the crown of the head. And then exhale to fold over your thighs. Walking toward plank again, so super strong core as you send your body forward over the wrists. Pull the core up, and then press yourself back, downward facing dog. Separate the feet if you have to. This time, what leg did we do? Left leg? The right leg up to three-legged dog. Draw that knee in towards your nose, feel the core fire up, and then sweep the right foot underneath the left arm. Find the outside edge of the heel. Yes, you got it. Open your chest, left arm floats up towards the sky, and then carefully with control, lower your hips down to the mat. You got it. Inhale, windmill the arms up over the left leg, take the side bend. Anywhere that you can find that left leg. So maybe you're just reaching for your knee, maybe you're softening, bending the knee so that you can find the leg. Anywhere that feels right today. Take a breath in. And exhale, windmilling the arms back up over the head, rooting down through the right hand behind the hips. Pike yourself back up, find your falling star, so find the outside edge of your right foot, nice and grounded, and then left arm comes down to the mat. Find your plank pose, high plank, or knees down, chaturanga, halfway, or all the way to the mat. Squeeze the glutes, lift the heart, widen the collarbones. Untuck the toes, downward facing dog, stay for a breath. Ah, you guys sweating yet? I hope so. Moving right into our standing poses. So take one more breath here in downward facing dog. And when you're ready, walk yourself back to your feet. Surrender to your fold for a breath. All right, inhale, stack the spine, reaching arms up overhead, extended mountain, and then palms open by hips. Take a breath here. Reroot down through your feet. We're coming to chair pose. So, stepping the feet together, staying at the back of your mat because I'm not done with you here. I'm really social distancing us today. Just kidding. We are, but you know what I mean. Feet together, tailbone slightly tucked, glutes are engaged, sweep the arms up overhead, soften the shoulders away from the ears, arms frame the face. Now really think about pulling the arms back so that you're feeling your shoulder blades engage. Take a breath in. Keep the tailbone slightly tucked as you start to sit back. Chest stays lifted, chair pose. Take a breath. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Almost like there's a seat behind you that's just a little too far away. You're looking for it though. Keep looking for your chair. One more breath. Circle the arms down around your legs as you forward fold. Inhale, walk ourselves forward to plank pose. Hands come directly under shoulders. And then press yourself back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And then draw the right knee in towards the nose. Feel the core fire up. Sweep the right foot right next to the right thumb. And then round the back heel coming to warrior one. So inhale the body up, arms circle overhead. Arms just like we did in our chair pose. So think about framing the face, pulling the shoulders back, and then softening the ribs. Take a breath here. Circle the arms down around by the side, coming to extended warrior. So pivoting our body forward over our thigh, extending the arms out to a 45-degree angle. Keep rolling the left hip forward. And keep hugging the thighs in towards each other. Take a breath. Press into that right foot as you lengthen the spine back up, warrior one. and then open your body, warrior two. So recenter yourself so that your body is directly in the midline of your hips, front knee over ankle, and then press it out just a hair so that you feel the entire glute fire up, the quads on fire. Soften the shoulders. Breathe in. And if you're getting a little beads of sweat, you're welcome. A little added bonus. Take a breath in. Flip your front palm coming to reverse warrior. C-shape the body. Reach down that left leg. Right shoulder rolls back. If it feels good, bring the gaze up towards that right elbow. Keep the depth in the legs. Feel the breath flow all the way through each rib on that right side body. Inhale, windmill the arms, extended warrior. So reach towards me. Finding the knee with the elbow, and then top arm floats up overhead. Anywhere you'd like to go today in your extended warrior. You might be reaching down your leg. If you have a block, you might be using your block. But most importantly, roll that top shoulder back, the left shoulder. Soften the right shoulder. And just breathe space into your extended warrior. Inhale, windmill the arms. Start to straighten the right leg, coming to reverse triangle. So reaching down that left leg again. We C-shape our body over once more, but this time that front leg is straight. So see if you can find more length now. Can you reach a little farther behind you? Keep pressing your hips forward. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now we come to triangle pose. So just a little flow. Windmill the arms back up and over. Send the hips to the left. Reach to the right. And then find your triangle. Arm can rest on shin. Maybe hand fingertips come outside the shin. Top arm is stacked directly over bottom arm. So roll the top shoulder back. See if that lifts your ribs up off your hips a little bit more. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. Left arm, windmills to floor. Tented fingers, we find a low lunge. So we frame the front foot. Sink down into the low lunge. Lift the heart. Bring your gaze forward. Root down through the hands. Step back, plank pose. High plank. You know your options. Knees or toes. Lower half or all the way down. Chaturanga. Lift the heart. Upward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Side one. Take a breath here. Press into the heels. And when you're ready, you walk yourself back to your feet. Surrender to your fold for a breath. Let the neck be heavy. Coming back to our chair pose. So if you chose to bring your soles of your feet together, wiggle them in now. Inhale, stack the spine, floating arms up overhead, high and wide. Palms meet. Find length. Exhale, palms towards side. Reground, reroot through your feet. Chair pose. Inhale, circle arms up, frame the face. Shoulder blades pulled back, frame even more. Tuck the tailbone, glue the knees together as you start to sit down into that chair that someone is taunting you with. Do you know which one I mean? I feel like my kids would do something like that. Wiggle that chair out from beneath me. They're still too young, but they will one day. Take a breath in, lift the chest even more. Inhale, exhale, circle the arms, dive over your legs, forward fold. Release the neck. Now we walk back out to our plank pose. Feel the strength here. Separate the feet slightly, and then press yourself back, downward facing dog. This time, left leg lift it high, three-legged dog. Point through the toe, and then left knee to nose. Draw it in. Feel the pause. Left foot, left thumb. Find that. Ground the back foot, coming to warrior one. Inhale, circle the arms up, overhead. Now find your warrior. Press into the back heel so that you lengthen the leg as much as possible. Feel the shoulder blades pull the arms back to frame the face. Can you soften your ribs even more? Feel the work in your legs and your back body. Inhale. Exhale, windmill your arms open. Oh no, I forgot, stay there. Extended warrior, I didn't forget. Sweep the arms down around your sides and extend your body forward. Reach towards me like you're serving someone a tray. Keep breathing. Press into that back heel. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Ooh, hey Mark, can you move that back a little bit? He's not gonna hear me, he's got his earbuds in. Ooh, okay. I'll move back. All right guys, warrior two. Check your foundation, bodies to the midline. Press the sole of the foot away so that whole leg is lifted. And then sink into your pose. Take a breath. Flip the front palm, inhale. C-shape the body, reach back, reverse warrior. Soften the shoulder from ear. See how much space you can create in the left side of your body. Keep rolling that top shoulder open. Breathe. Inhale, extended warrior. Float your arms back up. Reach towards that loudspeaker. Find your elbow to knee. Top arm floats overhead. Remembering you can reach down for your ankle if that feels okay today. Most importantly, roll that top shoulder back even more. See how much more length you can create. Reaching from fingertips to toes, thinking about one long line. Breathe in. Breathe out. Circling the arms back up overhead, coming to reverse triangle. So straighten the front leg, flip the palm again, reach down that right leg. Find that space created from before and create even more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we come to our triangle pose. So open your arms up to a T, send your hips towards the right, reach to the left, and then float your arm down anywhere, any space on your for your triangle pose. So no matter where you are, feel like somebody is pulling your arms away from each other, lifting your left ribs up off your left hip. Reach a little higher. Can you lift your toes up? Let them take a break. We don't need them here. Take a breath. And then top arm windmills down towards mat, circling left foot with hands, coming to low lunge. Sink into your hips, lift the heart forward and up, lift the back knee, root through the hands, plank pose, coming to Chaturanga or your vinyasa. So elbows lock in, we lower halfway or all the way, lift the heart through and up, widen the collarbone, squeeze the glutes. Now release the glutes, downward facing dog. Woo, stay for a breath. Maybe walk your dog or sway your hips. What feels good for your body here? Take one more breath. And when you're ready, walk yourself back up for the last time towards your feet. Bring your soles of your feet together for your forward fold. Let your neck be heavy. See how much you can lengthen the back of your legs. Take a breath in. And then inhale, stack your spine, extended mountain, arms float up overhead. And then open your palms to knee. Take a breath. Moving into our standing balance sequence. There's two poses that we're did I say two? Yeah, two poses we're gonna flow through. We're gonna do 2 sets of each pose. So, if you'd like a sip of water, grab it now. Take a breath. Finding a nice rooted feeling on your mat. So anywhere you're comfortable, we're coming to tree pose with variation. So we start with just your normal tree pose. So open your palms towards me, soften the shoulders, lift the toes so that you can root down through every outside edge of your foot. Tuck the tailbone slightly, find a nice grounded feeling here. Maybe let the eyelids float closed and just take a moment to come into your body. Next breath, shift your weight over to the right foot. Let the left leg bend softly. And when you're ready, your option is to bring the foot to the outside edge of the heel, maybe to the calf, or maybe you float that leg all the way up to the inside thigh, depending on where your balance is today. Bring that right hand to heart center to help establish your balance. So if you're feeling comfortable here, you can let that left hand float up to bring the hands to the heart, pressing the heart into the hands. Now think about squeezing the glutes even more to open that left leg even more. Now if you're feeling nice and supported here through your tree pose, option is to lengthen the arms up overhead. Now with this, soften the shoulders down. Try not to make this as active as we normally would in a tree. Let the fingertips be loose. Again, keep pressing that knee open. And if you'd like a little bit more, taking a breath in to lengthen, and then a breath out to C-shape our body over to the right. So over the knee that's lifted. Willow tree. So you should still feel that beautiful side opening. I'm giving you guys lots of rib opening today. Keep pressing the knee open. Reach arms back up towards the sky. Float the arms back down towards heart center. And if you'd like, you can touch down, or left hand hooks the outside edge of thigh, and you might stay here perfectly fine. Find your balance. If you'd like a little bit more, hooking toes with peace fingers, extending right arm, and then extending left leg. Any amount. Remembering that balance is just a journey, and if you fall out, it's always room to join back in. Coming out same way we came in, bend the knee, hook the thigh, hand to heart center, step together, take a breath, woo, give your feet a little wiggle, find some blood flow. All right guys, let's switch sides. So if you need to fix your mat because it got a little wonky on the turf, feel free to do so. Roll the shoulders back. Remember, find your mountain pose. So retuck the tailbone slightly, fire up the glutes. Shoulders are pulling back slightly. Shift the weight over to the left leg. When you're ready, you start to find your tree. So maybe here, maybe the calf, or maybe you bring it all the way up to the thigh. As long as you're not pressing against your knee, your tree is the perfect tree. So again, pressing heart into hands, into thumbs, pressing right knee back and away, pulling the thigh muscle up towards the hip bone on that left leg. And if it feels good today, you lengthen the arms up overhead, keeping the softness in the shoulders as you float. Take a breath in, keep the ribs soft. And if you're flowing your tree, taking that side bend over towards the right. Feel that beautiful space open. Can you breathe into it? Float the arms back up. Left hand heart center. Hook the thigh underneath. Option to stay here, remembering if you fall out, join back in, because why not? Maybe you hook the toe, big toe with your peace fingers, and lengthen out through the heel. Take a breath in. Bend the knee, hook the thigh, hands to heart center. Give yourself a little shake from side to side. Find feeling in your feet. And there's a beautiful Katie. The faces I don't get to see every day. All right, guys. So, beautiful job on that. Where are we? Coming in to hip openers. We're going to come down to our mat now. So, because I had one more standing pose, but I want to get through all my grounded poses. So come on down to your mat. Take a breath in. We're coming to star pose. So, yeah, you guys are good. Your feet are all on your mats. Mine are on the turf, and the turf is warm, so I want you guys to be comfortable. Soles of feet together, anywhere that feels right for your body. So you might have them close in towards your hips, or you might lengthen them out a little bit farther, wherever feels right today, just as long as the soles of the feet meet. Now bring your hands behind your hips, fingertips facing out. Press into your mat to lift the chest up and away from your mat. So now is where you're going to find if you can shift your hips forward, maybe an inch, maybe 2, I don't know, maybe not at all. Most importantly, press the mat away. Can you turn your gaze up? Close your eyes so that the sun isn't blinding you. Open the collarbones even more. I know I say that a lot, widen the collarbones. Here's a perfect example of what that means. Press the shoulder blades back. Let the shoulders open. Feel like your collarbones just grew an inch. Take a breath in. See if you can press your knees closer towards the turf. Good. Take a breath out. Release the pose. Press your hips down, let your arms relax for 1 moment. We're gonna do it one more time. Inhale. Find the rooted feeling down through the palms of the hands again. Even weight through the entire edge of the hand. Push the floor away. Gaze comes up slightly, widen the collarbones. Now, if it feels okay, start to curl the tailbone so that your hip bones lift up off the mat an inch. Keep the gaze up because this should feel pretty good. Start to sway your hips from side to side. This is your movement, your body. As long as you're not falling into your shoulders, this is why I say push the floor away even more so that you find that opening through your shoulder blades, or I'm sorry, your collarbones. Take a breath. Last breath here. Exhale, lower the hips. Bring the hands forward in front of the legs and just stay here for one breath. All it is just a active fold over your legs. We're not releasing forward. We're just active here, but you should still feel this into your hips. Good, take a breath. Exhale. Coming to modified half lotus. So right leg tucks in to left thigh, and then left foot comes up on top if that's available for you today. If not, you're coming to easy pose, so just cross-legged in front. If you're taking the option for modified half lotus, both feet are flexed to protect your knees. Your knee is going to be lifted, and this is exactly what I want because we're coming to a quick round of P and F stretching. Find your sit bones, take a breath in. Lengthen. So this, if you're choosing easy pose and this is not for you today, I invite you to bring your fingertips forward in front of your knees, keep nice and active, spine nice and long, and feel a little bit of a stretch in your hips. You can still come with me even if you're in Lotus pose. You have like the most insanely open hips ever, so this isn't gonna feel good for you at all, but I hope it does. So take a breath in. If you're choosing the P and F stretch, feet are flexed, walk yourself back up, bring your elbows to the knee and to the heel. You can just let your hands do whatever they want. Take a breath in. Press your knees, both of them, up into your elbows. Active, active. It's intense, right? Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Release. See if you can soften the knee down a little bit more. Did you get any more opening? We're going to do it one more time. Ready? Take a breath in. Start to press both knees up into your elbows. Press them up. Keep pressing. 3, 2, 1, and then release. See if you have any more softening into your hips. So see how my knee completely softened down? It's supposed to help release the muscle that your body is just like, no, I don't want to do that, but your body can. So now from here, stack the spine back up, and we're just coming to an easy twist. So no matter where you are, whatever leg is on top, take your hand to the outside edge of that knee, opposite hand come behind the hips, and then just revolve, looking over the back shoulder. Take a breath in. Exhale, come forward, opposite side. So no matter where you are, just switch your legs, even if you're in easy pose. If you're in easy pose and the P and F stretching is not doing much for you, feel free just to come to a fold or maybe a side bend over the leg that's on top. So if you're choosing the P and F, whatever leg's on top, elbows, remember, flex your feet as much as you can because you have to protect your knees here. Elbow comes to ankle and knee. Take a breath in and start to press your knees up into your elbows for 3, 2, 1, and then soften. You have to let the soften happen. You can't soften anymore. You are as soft in your hips as they get. He's always like, can I just do full lotus? I'm like, have at it. One day I'll get to full lotus. One more time. Take a breath in. Press the knees up for 3, 2, 1, and then soften. Good. Take a breath. Start to lift yourself back up, and then we'll take the twist opposite direction. So whichever knee is on top, you bring your hand to the outside edge of that knee, opposite hand comes behind the hips, and we look over the back shoulder. Take a breath. All the way up the length of your spine, and then all the way back down. Good. Unturn, unhook your legs, bring your legs out in front of you, and just windshield wiper, side to side. Because when does a windshield wiper not feel good? It always feels good, I think, unless you have hip issues, of course. All right, just a little bit of core. How are we? We are great on time. I am crushing it today. I'm not rushing. All right, coming to a modified side plank. Just a little bit of a core teaser for you guys. hand directly under shoulder. Left, let's do right arm around your shoulder. Right knee is bent, and we're gonna pike our hips up, keeping that bottom leg grounded. So if you have wrist issues, your option here is to stay down on your elbow. Otherwise, coming up to full expression, shoulder over wrist, top arm floats up towards the sky. So think about pointing the bottom toe. You can always extend to full plank, side plank if that's for you today. Reaching the arm up. Now take that top arm, left arm, and float it up over your ear. Feel the side bend. Oh, why not? See if you can reach your fingertips down towards your mat even more, keeping the chest open. Keep reaching through the left toe. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Now start to bend the knee and elbow so that the knee and elbow meet. Tap here, and then extend out to 45. We have 4 like this. So inhale, tap, exhale, lengthen. 2 more. Inhale to tap, exhale, lengthen. Last one, tap, and then reach nice and long. Find that side bend once more, ground the toe, reach the side up and over, and then windmill that left hand down towards your mat. Coming to hands and knees. 1 quick round of pointer. So find your neutral spine, shoulders over wrist, knees under hips. Right arm and left leg extend long, out in front of you and behind, out to the diagonal, back in front and behind, and tap down. Other side. Left arm, right leg reaches long away, extend out, away, and in. Alternating sides. Reach. Inhale. Exhale. Reach. And tap. Switch. Keep the hips and shoulders square towards the mat. Stabilizing with our core. Last one. Reach. Lengthen. Reach. And tap. You know we have to do the other side of plank. So left hand roots down to the mat. Pivot the hips so that they open. Keeping the left knee grounded. Optional to extend to full side plank. Float the right arm up overhead so that it's stacked over the left shoulder. Reach through the right toe as much as you can. And then take a full breath in. Lift the hips up a little higher to C-shape your body. So reach that right arm up overhead. Feel the side bend here. Breathe. Coming to our bit of oblique work. Inhale, start to bend the knee and elbow so that they tap. Lengthen the arm out to the 45-degree angle, left leg as well. Inhale to tap. Exhale, lengthen. We've got 2 more. Feel the squeeze. Inhale to tap. Inhale, exhale, reach. Last one. Bring it together, and then bring it apart. Hands under shoulders. Widen your legs. Press yourself back, child's pose. Stay for a breath. All right. We are moving into a quick round of a little bit of back strengthening. So when you are ready, walk yourself back up and then bring your knees together. We're coming to camel pose. So knees under hips, toes tuck, and we sit back on our heels first. Feel the stretch up the middle of your foot. Lift the chest up, bring the hands to the thighs. This is just taking a breath here into the midsection of our foot. We don't focus on that part of our foot often, so sometimes it's nice just to give it a little attention. Take a breath in, lift the spine. And then when you're ready, lower the toes, stack the knees under the hips, curl the tailbone under, and then bring your hands back, side of your hip bones, elbows facing behind you as much as you can. So really feel your shoulder blades squeeze together, pressing your hips forward, keeping them stacked over your knees. Take a breath in. As you exhale, start to look behind you slightly, pressing the chest up towards the sky. This might be where you stay, and that's perfectly fine. Personally, for me with camel pose, I like to tuck my toes so that my heels are closer to my sit bones when I try to reach back for them. Remembering you might stay here. Inhale, left arm floats up towards the sky if you're choosing to reach back. Exhale, let that left hand come to the left heel. You guys okay? Inhale, right arm floats up. And then if it's for you, you can try to float that arm back to find your right heel, option to alternate sides. I like to have my heels lifted. You might lower your feet if you're feeling extra open in your back bend today. Inhale, left arm floats up. Exhale, right arm floats up. Stack your spine, find your seat, lower the hands. A little bit of a counter pose to this. We're going to lower down to our forearms and extend our legs out behind us, lower to our belly. Let the hands rest on the forehead and just rock the hips side to side for a moment. Just let your back settle down. All right, now stack your elbows under your shoulders, coming to Spinks Pose. So forearms tracking hands and elbows in line with each other. So really think about pulling your elbows in a little bit closer than they want to be. Now, draw your legs together like you're in a tube of toothpaste. Squeeze from the bottom of the toothpaste tube, your toes, all the way up to the top to lift your heart up off the mat. Pull the chest through, widen the collarbones, breathe. Exhale, lengthen the body down. Make that pillow with your hands. Rock your hips side to side. Good. Press into your hands. We're moving on to our back. So roll on over any way that works for you today. Hug behind your legs and roll on down. So coming to bridge. Knees stacked over, heels, shoulder blades nice and wide. Find that beautiful rooting through your entire backside. You know, everybody come with me. Take hold of the outside edges of your mat with your hands. Take a breath in. Start to curl the tailbone up and away from your mat. Pull the outside edges of your mat. See if you can hug your shoulder blades under your body by pulling your mat away from each other. It's going to allow you to lift your hips a little higher and stay super active. Inhale. Exhale. Unhook your shoulders. Articulate your spine back down. We got one more round of that. So rock the hips if you need to. Good. Stable spine here. Start to think about ripping your mat apart as you curl the tailbone up and away. Hug the shoulder blades under your body. Lift the hips 1 inch higher. Remembering you have the option here to interlace fingers underneath your hips or just keep holding onto your mat for stability. Take a breath. Unhook the shoulders and then articulate your spine all the way back down. Open your arms nice and wide out to a T. Lift your hips up, send them over to the left side of your mat. Let the knees fall to the right, coming to a supine twist, because why not? It's going to feel so good. If this feels good, your shoulders are grounded. You can bring your gaze over that left shoulder. Take a breath. Close the eyes. Coming back up through center with your knees. Root down through your feet to lift the hips up and send them over towards the right. Let the knees fall to the left. Or wherever you are, you might be doing the opposite side. Keep the shoulders grounded. If they are, feel free to turn your gaze over that right shoulder. Breathing space into the spine. Stack the knees back up over the hips. Recenter your hips towards the middle of your mat. You can let the arms come down next to your sides. Coming to single leg stretch here. So keep both legs grounded to start. We're going to hug the right knee in towards our chest, interlacing our fingers, holding onto the knee about 1 inch below your kneecap. Hug the knee in. And then if it feels good, hold behind the leg, either behind the thigh or the calf, and start to lengthen the heel up towards the sky. If you're feeling super stable here, you might lengthen that bottom leg, left leg out towards the mat, flexing the foot so that the calf stays grounded to the mat. You can point the toe that's lifted, but flex the foot that's grounded if you're extending here. Let's bend the leg again. Draw it into the chest, hold behind the thigh. Draw it in, take a breath. Hug a little bit closer in towards your ribs. And then a full breath out is gonna lengthen that leg up again towards the sky. Anywhere. The sides holding behind your knee. So calf, thigh. Good. Bend the knee and let's switch sides. So bring that sole of the foot back down towards the mat, bent to start. Bend the leg that was extended if it was. Inhale. Left leg hugs in towards chest. Interlace fingers, take knee up towards armpit. And then exhale, holding behind the leg, calf or thigh to lengthen that heel up towards the sky. If you're feeling good, you can extend the bottom leg. Remembering trying to flex the toe back toward your shin so that you can try to ground the calf. If that's not happening today, soften the toes and just let the leg come down any amount. Take a breath in. Exhale. Once more, we hug the knee into the chest. See if you can soften it a little bit more towards the armpit this time, opening up the hip. And then reaching that heel up towards the sky once more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Bend the knee. Both feet come down towards your mat. Hug your both knees in towards your chest and give yourself a little rock side to side. Coming to happy baby pose. So keep the knees where they are, close to your ribs. Let the heels kick up towards the sky. Now your choice to hold on to your legs anywhere that feels right today. So maybe shins, maybe you reach through for the soles of your feet. It doesn't matter where you hold as long as you're comfortable. So think about rooting down through your tailbone, letting the knees fall closer to your ribs like we just did, and then soles of feet kicking up towards the sky. Take a breath in. Maybe you lift your head up and lengthen the back of your neck even more. If it feels good, you might take a rock side to side. Just give yourself a little back massage. You might stay here, but if you're feeling like you want a little bit more, hooking big toes with peace fingers or holding onto shins or thighs, lengthening legs out, any amount. Creating more space in our bodies. Take a breath. Bend the knees. Hold your shins. Give yourself a hug. Bring your knees back to your chest. Hug your knees to where, see if you can hook opposite elbow to opposite elbow. If not, just give yourself a gentle hug. And then from here, bringing soles of feet together, coming to bound angle. So soles of feet together, knees fall open nice and wide. Take a breath in. Push into your hips to see if you can lengthen out your lower lumbar spine. And then float your arms up overhead, interlacing opposite elbows. Letting elbows fall heavy. Letting chest open. Letting hips open. Start to soften your breath here. The eyes float closed. You can stay here for Shavasana, or maybe you start to lengthen your legs one at a time out to the outside edges of your mat. Letting the heels fall open, and then slowly letting your arms come down to your sides on the outside edges, palms face up. And shift yourself around a little bit so you can ground through your sacrum, open up your shoulder girdles, lift the head, let the crown of the become a little bit longer, the neck lengthen, the collarbones widen, the breath softens. And just allow that very mild, cool breeze to float over your body. Allow the sounds to linger. Just allow your practice to settle in the space on your mat you created with your body. I invite you to stay here for as long as you can. You're more than welcome to stay for 5, 10, 15 minutes. But for the sake of Facebook, I'm going to turn over to my side using my arm as a pillow, staying for a breath. Your time, just making your way up to a comfortable seated position. When you're ready, you're more than welcome to stay. Truly enjoy it. I hope you do. You enjoy Shavasana. That's the most important part of the practice, I think. It's giving our body the rest and absorption of what we just created. So if you've joined me in a seated position, closing your eyes, finding your comfortable seat, so maybe easy pose, maybe you're sitting on your heels, wherever you are, turn your palms to face up on your knees. Close the eyes, lengthen through the crown of the head. We're going to take a cleansing breath here to finish. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, palms meet at the top, in through the nose, and then out through the mouth. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, circle arms up, reach a little taller. Exhale, out through the mouth. Last breath together, inhale. Exhale, hands, heart center. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. You guys rock. Thank you, Facebook. Happy Friday.